Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to demystify the hidden magic of fluid power. It's literally the invisible muscle that allows a machine to push with tens of thousands of pounds of force. We're talking about the power driving those massive heavy excavators, the towering cranes, and the aircraft that literally shape our world. It's this fascinating, immense force, and it's all just hiding right there in plain sight. So let's kick things off with a pretty relatable scenario. Think about the sheer mechanical advantage you need to lift an entire car. You've probably done this yourself, right? Using one of those tiny, simple hydraulic jacks, and it takes almost zero physical effort on your part. But how is that even possible? What invisible muscle is doing all that heavy lifting for us? To answer that, here is our agenda for today. 1. The magic of hydraulics. 2. Anatomy of the system. 3. Fluid in motion. 4. Maintenance milestones. And 5. Troubleshooting common problems. Let's dive right in.
Starting off with Section 1, the magic of hydraulics, the secret ingredient.
Okay, so the entire concept of fluid power rests on this single, absolutely crucial scientific principle, Pascal's law. It states that because a confined liquid transmits pressure equally everywhere, a really small force applied at one point is converted into a massive force at another. Now, the key word here is confined. Since the fluid has literally nowhere else to go, it transfers that energy without losing a drop of it. To see exactly how that force multiplies, let's look at the relationship between pressure and area. The output force, F2, is equal to the system pressure multiplied by the area of the output piston, A2. To put that into perspective, if you have 1,000 pounds per square inch of pressure acting on a 10 square inch piston, boom, you've just created 10,000 pounds of lifting force. I mean, that is an incredible mechanical return on investment. This whole dynamic perfectly explains how applying consistent pressure to a much larger output area effortlessly multiplies your tiny physical input into this massive mechanical output. It's exactly why that tiny hand jack can lift a car so smoothly and just hold it there without you having to constantly pump it. The fluid essentially acts like an unbreakable, completely flexible steel rod.
Moving on to Section 2, anatomy of the system, building the machine.
Now that we've got Pascal's law down, let's look at the physical hardware. It honestly functions a lot like the heart, veins, and muscles of a human body. Every setup relies on these core components. You've got the reservoir storing the fluid. And we use specialized oil for this because, unlike water, it won't rust the internals, and it acts as a necessary lubricant. Then the hydraulic pump acts as the heart, pumping the oil to convert mechanical energy into hydraulic energy. The control valve is the brain, directing the flow. The filter keeps everything free of contaminants, while the pipes and hoses are your veins. And finally, the relief valve, super important, protects the whole system from excessive, dangerous pressure. But what's the ultimate goal of all this anatomy? Well, it's the actuator. Whether we're talking about a linear cylinder pushing a heavy plow or a hydraulic motor spinning an industrial drill, this is the actual muscle of the machine. It takes that highly pressurized fluid and converts it right back into real-world physical mechanical motion. This is where the actual lifting and pushing happens.
All right, Section 3, fluid in motion, the journey of a drop of oil. Let's trace the path of a single burst of oil as it travels through the system. This sequence is basically the heartbeat of the machine. Step 1, our drop of oil is just resting in the tank. Step 2, it gets drawn out by the pump, creating flow. Now, Step 3 is vital. Pressure only builds up when that moving oil actually hits resistance. Once it's pressurized, Step 4, the control valve directs it to the exact actuator that needs it. In Step 5, that pressure slams against the piston, creating the physical force. And finally, Step 6, after a hard day's work, the oil flows right back home through the return line to the reservoir, ready to do the whole shebang all over again.
That brings us to Section 4, maintenance milestones, keeping the power alive. Okay, we've seen how beautifully the system works, but all of this immense power brings us to an absolute, non-negotiable rule: safety. Before you even think about grabbing a wrench, you must shut down the equipment and apply lockout/tagout procedures. And most importantly, you have to completely release that hydraulic pressure. Listen, hydraulic fluid under pressure can be so intense that a pinhole leak acts like a literal laser. It can inject oil right through a heavy leather glove and deep into your skin. It is incredibly dangerous if the system is opened unexpectedly. Now, proper care is really all about rhythm. And this escalating timeline maps out your milestones perfectly. Daily, you're checking reservoir levels and hunting for any leaks. Weekly, you're cleaning components and checking hoses for dangerous bulges.
Monthly, you're taking a deep look at the oil condition. Like, is it milky? That means water contamination. Does it smell burnt? That points to overheating. Quarterly means swapping out pressure and return line filters, plus checking your relief valve settings. And annually, it's time to drain the old oil, clean the tank, and do a massive, comprehensive system inspection. Think of these best practices as your cheat sheet for system longevity. If you strictly adhere to these rules, like always keeping your oil flawlessly clean and dry, because trust me, dirty oil acts like liquid sandpaper inside your pump, you are going to drastically reduce failures. Using the manufacturer-approved grades and meticulously recording your maintenance dates ensures your pumps, valves, and cylinders will survive years of heavy-duty abuse. Finally, Section 5, System Troubleshooting, Fixing Common Problems. We all know that even with the absolute best maintenance schedule, the real world is unpredictable. Things will go wrong. But when they do, you can usually match the symptoms directly to their cures. For example, if you hear a screaming, excessive noise coming from your pump, well, it's likely air trapped in the system causing cavitation. That means you need to remove the air and check the suction line. Or, say a massive excavator is suddenly suffering from really sluggish, slow operation. You can usually trace that straight back to a clogged filter, or maybe a worn pump that desperately needs inspecting and replacing. By matching the specific problem to its cause, you turn this complex mechanical beast into a completely solvable puzzle. And that brings us to the end of our journey today. Hopefully, this explainer has completely transformed how you look at heavy equipment. Armed with Pascal's law and knowing the ins and outs of pumps, valves, and actuators, you are now in on the secret. So I'll leave you with this thought. The next time you see a massive crane hoisting a steel beam high into the sky, are you just going to see a metal machine? Or will you picture the incredible, hidden fluid power silently lifting the modern world? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep exploring the mechanics around you.